Other words to say, no other ways to feel. Oh, but anytime you feel that way, just open up your mouth and know that you could be in the worst place, first place. And jiggy down, diggy down, down. Just take a deep breath, cause I want to think for my 6, 7, 5, 10. And you might feel like yourself again. Oh, you don't always need no word to say. Yeah. You can get the devil in his own mind, not yo. Chicken, you know, don't mind it, you know, thinking about the little but you don't have the words to say. Open up your mouth anyway. Oh, I know,
Welcome to another episode of TrapN Podcast. I am your host, Mr. James Roberts, along with my co-host,
Tawana Roberts, aka the Queen of Dispatch.
and we want to just welcome you to our third episode of TrapN Podcast. Tonight, we're going to be talking about Hotshot.
Mm-hmm.
All you need to know, or all you want to know. And as we move forward, well, what you got?
Oh, nothing. Go ahead.
As we move forward, before we bring our guest on, Mr. James Roberts, I know you guys were kind of confused on the name on the flyer, but we have the same name. And I am proud about it. He's a good man. He's a hardworking man. And I appreciate him for everything he's done for me so far. Right now, what I want to do is this. Last week, I said something that I don't want to get out of, I don't want to get misunderstood. We have no fans here at TrapN Podcast. We all are family. We're co-workers, co-laborers, because I am a driver. We do work together hand in hand. So fans were the wrong word I used. I should, my words I wanted to use, like I said, co-worker, co-pilot, that such thing. So with that out of the way, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing well, blessed and highly favored.
Okay, so this is what I want to do. If this was a CB and I was in my truck and I was rolling down the highway and I'd be like, look out there, driver, how them bears looking up ahead, how them bears looking up ahead. So we're going to do a little role playing.
No, I'm not a driver. I wouldn't know.
You don't have to be a driver.
Okay, let's see what you
just talk.
Okay.
All right. Hey, look out there, driver. This solo driver coming at you, baby. How is looking up there? How them bears looking up there?
I don't know what bears are, sorry.
Oh, bears are cops. Bears are cops. You got to get into it. I mean, I know you don't know. I know you ain't never been in the truck.
Okay.
I know you haven't been in the truck before, but I'm just saying. So, okay, let's do this here. What would be your handle? My handle when I was driving in the truck, I was solo driver all day long. You know what I'm saying? On the CB. It'd be like, who we talking to? Oh, this solo driver. Cause I can't ride teams. I can't. I mean, shout out to those of you who do. I can't ride teams. I just can't get sleep in the sleeper with somebody else driving.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So my name was Solo Driver. What would be your name? What you think your name would be? And don't say Queen of Dispatch because that's not, you can't use that.
Shout out to Charles. Thank you, Charles, for joining us yet again on another Sunday. So if I was out on the road, my name would be Blondie.
Blondie. That's a good one. Okay. And if you're calling in tonight, the number is 727-731-2494. Go ahead and get in the queue. You can ask your questions. You can comment. You can just say what it is that you like. I mean, you can say what you like, what it is you like about the podcast. Mm-hmm. Comment on what we're talking about. Ask questions to the guests. Just all of that. And so what we want to do is we want you guys to get that opportunity and call that number, get in the queue, and we would love to talk to you, even if it's just some feedback on some of the stuff that we're doing. So right now, I want to do this. She said her name was Blondie. If you got a name, call in and tell us what your name would be or your handle would be on the CB.
Okay.
Cool. So real quick, I want to get into this real quick. One little topic of news that we talked about this week.
Okay.
I'm gonna read this here, and it's from and before I do this here, we are officially wearing
Millionaire Freight Trap in my apparel line.
The apparel line is on deck. As you can see, we got the hoodies. This is the first thing she's going to have on her apparel line. When would they be able to?
I'll keep you guys informed. Just continue to follow us on social media. Stay plugged in. We're going to build a website here soon where you can subscribe so you can stay notified of any updates, exclusive announcements, and all that good stuff.
Okay. Well, let me do this before I even read this. Let's bring in our guest. Want to? Okay. So our guest is none other than Mr. James Roberts. He owns and has had his own Hotshot Business. I haven't ran Hotshots. I know how they operate. I know that it's basically the same as I know Odom, but I haven't done Hotshots, so I don't have a real knowledge of the business side of it. You know what I mean? So this gentleman that we're bringing in, his name is James Roberts, and he is he don't like me to call him an expert, but I say anything that you do for 8 hours a day,
yes,
for more than 40 hours a week, you become an expert in it. He's been doing this for a minute. So without further ado, please welcome Mr. James Roberts.
Welcome.
Mr. James Roberts, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. How y'all doing?
You're on mute. I can't hear him.
James, we can't hear you. Go back and unmute it. Okay, there you go.
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but can you hear me?
Okay, while we get together, I'm gonna go into this topic.
I think your Bluetooth.
It might be me. Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead, James.
Hello. Can you hear me?
There you go.
Hey, yes, sir. That was on me. That was
for earbug, man. I was trying this new earbug.
No, actually, that was on me. The sound man, that was on me. That's on me, baby. How you doing, bro?
All right, then. Well,
how about your Sunday?
Man, to be here with y'all, and I'm doing all right, bro.
That's good. How you doing? How you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling. You know what, man? I was a little, less itchy, but you know what, y'all the broadcast just brought me right into it. Now I'm feeling it right now. We ready to do some of this freight now.
You ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready to freight, man.
All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring up a topic that we talked about this weekend, and that way you can get a feel for it because I want to hear your feedback on it also. I got this from Transport Topics. It says how freight demand provides momentum for trucking industry. How freight demand. Economic indicators suggest the trucking industry could be poised for growth in 2021 after the coronavirus pandemic caused a topsy-turvy year in 2020, marked by unpredictable demands and continued uncertainty in the driver pool. The overall outlook for the trucking industry is trending in an optimistic direction, and it has been for months despite the shortage of drivers. I'm going to just put a note right there, a pin right there, I mean. So the high demand for freight and shortage of drivers. This opened the doors for so many opportunities in this industry when it comes to trucking. And that's why I tell any driver, I tell anybody who has a CDL, keep it clean. Have all your endorsements. Do not shortstop yourself by not getting everything you need and getting unsolicited or just tickets that are just unavoidable. Don't get tickets. If you got a clean MVR, and some companies even one or two, but they can't be major because with the basics, which is the point system that they have in trucking, when it comes to your license, they carries. Just because you move from one company to the next, don't mean that you leave it. You may leave it with the company, but it rides with your record. So I tell people all the time, keep your license clean, and you will always have an opportunity in transportation. Especially when you hit that 5-year experience. Oh my God, you basically can, kind of just say, hey, pick and choose what lane you want to run, right? So, James, what you think about that? High demand. Have you seen it? How have you seen it in your lane?
Well, when you go to looking and you're talking about the high demand, it could be a high demand in one area and a low demand. See, when you go to talking about freight and transportation freight, it's real, it's real vague because Amazon is moving freight like that, like nobody never moved before. But they also have an online and a distribution center but you have electrical houses, you have steel, so it's just really, it's a short demand because people just don't know. People think it takes a lot of money. People don't know. People don't know that they can see what they need, see what truck is needed, so they don't know. So that what brings on the shortage. And then this time of the year brings it on in this time of year. But freight gonna move.
Yeah, because with the pandemic and everything that's been going on with online shopping and all of that, I mean, that side of the commerce side of it has been just booming. Now we already know that this is a slow period for trucking, which is the business side of it, the industrial side of it, where you're moving your chemicals, your pipe, your iron, your scrap metal, all that kind of stuff. Hay, all of that. That had, this is a slow period because of, the weather. But and my thing is that they're just looking at it from the merchant side, from the consumer side. Once once the industry begins to boom and the slow period is over, James, I just read where the California ports they had to reroute some of the ships because you had ships just sitting out in the water waiting to get to the ports to unload. And this is the slow season. I'm talking about this the slow season. And we both know that, how Port of Houston is and Bayport and all of that is once those waters open up and you're trying to, those ships are trying to get in and get unloaded and people getting in trying to get the goods off of the containers and get the containers to where they need to be to the warehouses and then the warehouses, distribute them. So it's gonna be picking up. I mean, and it's gonna be moving in 2021. That's why, when Pastor always preach, stay in position. Stay in position. And basically what he said is stay ready so you won't have to get ready.
Right.
And during this pandemic, this lady to my right has put herself in a position and stayed ready. And, our place, God already had a place for us. So we didn't have to go in trying to bogart nobody. We didn't have to go in trying to step on nobody's neck. We just got in where God had our place already set for us.
Yeah.
And when that happens, man, it'll move. It'll move. So I've talked enough. Tawana, is there anything you would like to add to any of that?
Nope. I'm enjoying the conversation and ready to hear what question you have for Mr. James.
She always just enjoying the conversation. Hey, where's wifey at?
Oh, there. She's in there. She just came in, straight in from work. Look here, she just stepped through the door.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I'll just asking because you always got to place it. You always got to salute the woman of the house.
Well, first of all, I want to commend y'all both because really, you used to be solo because you don't ride solo no more. It's just that she ain't in the camera with you, but you ain't solo no more. And it's good to not be solo because
right.
I wouldn't even have a business if my deuce partner, because I seen the business through her.
Wow.
Talk about it.
And so, it's I commend y'all on that, man. But I think that we have to stay ready, and I think in all facets of the industry, it's going to be, I believe, straight trucks, I believe 18-wheelers, I believe tankers, I believe even pickup trucks. When it open up, because of the mass of things are going to be needed, it's going to have to meet. I don't care if it comes through boat, through plane, through train. After it gets broke down there, it has to go on a truck of some kind, and it has to be distributed. And it's going to be there. And this is the time right now that you might need to get a truck because it's cheap. This is the time if you could have it or begin to talk and look at it and do like such as you did yourself. Go to looking at the industries that are going to need it. Because if you find out who needs the truck, then you know what kind of truck that you need. And then you know how to go purchase that truck. And then you're already rolling. You're not guessing on what you're going to make. You've already made contact with a customer. And all we do is solve problems. If somebody got some freight that need to go somewhere, I'm the man to solve your problem. Put it on my truck. James Roberts Logistics.
James Roberts Logistics. Sir. Okay, that's going to lead us into this, our first question. Explaining your own words, what you do, what your business is, and what you know about Hotshot.
I go by James Roberts Logistics, and it is a hotshot business, but I also do more than just hotshots. What I do is I also do dedicated runs because I work with at a electrical house where I can place trucks at to where I don't have to work off the board. See, before it gets to the hotshot, if I can't carry it, that's the only way you'll get it if I'm working out of that electrical house. And then on the hotshot side is when the route truck can't get it, then the hotshot truck gets it. So I just try to basically keep myself in that way, and then always keep me an avenue of somebody that can call me, because it's about relationships. It's all about a relationship with a
Wow, say
customer
that again.
and another
Wow.
customer. See, and I want both of them to love me. I
Yeah.
know,
Right.
see, I want everybody to like me in this freight business, because if you like putting the load on me and they like the way I deliver it, then I'm gonna eat, and it's not really hard, but you have to really be dedicated in it. Just look, everybody looks at your wife and they look at her now, but they don't know the work that she put in. They don't know the work that the 6 months under the table that she had to put in just to even get to this point right here, or get to the business, the contacts and all that. And it's gonna blow up. And if people wanna really, if you're really thinking about any parts and any facets of the trucking industry, I believe the time now is to begin to look to the people that you want to either work through, work for, and work under.
So I'm gonna kind of just skip around on these questions because you already touched on number 2. So I heard you also say something about you do a little bit of both. You got you run for a wire company and you got the hot shot. So tell me this: do you find it better to lease on or go at it on your own in that hot shot lane? What's worked for you?
Wait a minute, you ain't playing fair. That's one of your minister questions in there right there. You ain't playing fair there. But that's a good question, James. And I would be wrong to say it was a certain way, because it has to be the season that you're in your life.
Mhm.
Okay, say like that, I need a certain income, and me leasing on is going to
Mhm.
give me a certain income. And say if I leased on and they say we want to use your truck and we pay you $2,600 a week to run a route,
Right. Okay.
and then I go to the table and I say, well, it's going to take me $300 probably a week to run this. Right when I look at it, then this
Mhm.
is something I want, because this guaranteed money,
Mhm.
and it don't slow down, James. See, this is a contract that don't slow down, like when it get
Talk about
November,
it.
December, and January. It's
Mm-hmm.
12. And see, where it's getting slow now, I just ain't doing a whole lot of work, but I'm getting the same money when I was doing a whole lot of work.
Right.
So
Right.
if you in that part of your life, then you want it out. But if you're young and you don't have no family and you don't have to be at home, that 2,600 is day money. If you get on the road and you got somebody, you got a broker or a dispatcher dispatching your dry truck, your reefer, or whatever, and then you can run because you don't have to come back. And when you come back, you pay for that old truck, in a year and a half. So it's really where you're at in life. If you don't have a family, man, you can play it like you want to. But if you have a family and you want to be home on the weekends, I would lease out that way. And
So
then when the leasing opens up, because if I'm on site and I'm there where the freight is moving, pose a hot shot come out or pose another route come out, I'm right there. There's the opportunity to add another truck or then bring a hot shot truck in. So any way that you would go into it, a lot of people I got into it out of a little truck though. I hot shot for 2 years.
you got shot for 2 years. So let me see if you let me throw a curve in here. With that 2,600, that was just a scenario. With that 2,600 in a hot shot, do you guys get a fuel surcharge?
Yes, sir. If you
Explain
lie
the
on
fuel
there,
surcharge
that's in
for
the
me.
contract. If you don't know, they won't give it to you. But most hotshot companies, because they're already getting 25 to 30% of the money, why wouldn't they give you the gas? Matter of fact, not only will they give you a surcharge, they'll give you a gas card.
Mm-hmm.
So real quick, explain to our listeners what a fuel surcharge is.
It's a fuel surcharge is a percentage of the fuel that is used.
Okay.
And it can be negotiated with a percentage. Most of them will give you 35%. It's hard to know how you negotiate.
Right.
If you're negotiating with one truck, they might not, they might give you 25%. But if you go negotiating with 9 trucks, you might can even say that, well, y'all just take care of the gas and I'll take care of the maintenance, and you can put your logo on the side of my truck and let's roll.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay, so that's another way to go about it, is just let them give you a fuel card and you don't even worry about the fuel surcharge. But if you decide to use your own fuel card, it's just all about what you negotiate with the company when it comes down to the percentage kickback to you. Say, for instance, I burn up $1,500 worth of fuel in a week. They'll kick you back whatever percentage you guys have agreed upon, 20, 30, 35 of that 1,500. It'll come back to you.
yes.
Okay. All right. So I just wanted everybody to understand what a fuel surcharge was. Because for me, when I had my truck, go ahead, James.
Excuse me. But you said something that was real important though. You remember we were talking about where you at in life?
Right.
If you don't have to use, you don't need their card if you want to do it. But if you need, see, that what makes it flexible. Because if I can use my own card, then I don't have to be a percentage. But if I don't have that much money, maybe I have $10,000 startup, and I got one of the low stake bed truck, but I got
Right.
5,000 and I need it right here, but I want the insurance on the gas. So then him doing the gas card and with the fuel surcharge will pan out for a minute to get him started. But like you were saying, if I can spend my own gas money, I'm not giving you 10% on the gas, So it's kind of like where we at, because I believe, James, a lot of people think you have to have a lot of money to get ready for what we are talking about. And it's not a lot of money, it's just a lot of research and some work and the information. And once you get the information, I believe it's a way for anybody to get in this business and be successful with it. And
right. Now, just to be clear, we're talking about hotshotting. Because at the end of the day, we had owner operators on last week. And like me and you've always talked about, it's a big difference between getting into this business and doing a hot shot versus getting into this business in an 18-wheeler.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big difference because the maintenance and all of that is totally different. It's totally different. So we agreed last week that you needed at least 20 to 30 per truck to get started in an 18-wheeler.
Right.
And because of the maintenance aspect, because of all of the insurance and all of that, and everything differs when you break it down in the hot shotting. And I understand what you're saying, because it is a little easier to get in hot shotting. And for me, I always thought that you can get in with a good hot shot, start a good hot shot probably with maybe $5,000 to $8,000. And that's because of the fact that you want to go in not using, if you're leased on, not using their company fuel card. That way you can have all of that to write off at the end of the year. You want all of that to come back to you at the end of the year when you do your taxes, right? So you want all of that to come back to you. And the only reason I would see I would use their fuel card because it would be because of IFTA and that's if you're running from state to state. You know what I mean? Because then you can use their IFTA tag. You can use let them pay whatever the fee is to get the IFTA tag and all of that. You know what I mean? And like
Right.
you said, it just depends on where you are in life, who you are. But hopefully, where you are in life, you're ready to begin this journey.
Right.
You know what I mean? Hopefully, you've got you've got your personal life taken care of. You've got your finances together, and that's what I found. People try to get in the trucking to ease their financial woes, and you get in the trucking trying to ease your financial woes. All you're gonna do is stack on top of it. You know what I mean? All you're
Yes,
gonna do
sir.
is all you're gonna do is stack on top of it. So when you come into this trucking industry, you gotta have everything ready. You gotta have everything in line, and you gotta be prepared. You have to be prepared. And so my next question to you would be, I know you kind of explained it, but in your own words, what's your field of expertise in this transportation industry? What are you good at in this industry? What do you Mr. James Roberts do every day, all day, and you consider yourself an expert? Not to know everything, but an expert.
Well, I believe first of all,
Bring them up.
That's it.
any kind of electrical freight, no matter what, plants, wherever, any kind of wire, pipe, building material. That's what I specialize in. So it's construction. Most of mine's ongoing add-ons, bill outs from the ground up. That's my expertise because since I've been in the business, I've worked out electrical houses. So that's my expertise, like the big
Hold on.
wires and stuff like that.
Okay, hold on. Explain what an electrical house is.
Electrical house is a warehouse that has customers that buy electrical material from to build, like your big building companies. They buy from electrical houses, which we'll call supply houses.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So that's your lane. That's what you do day in and day out is move electrical wiring, housing from startup to finish.
Yes, sir.
Cool. And like I said before, this Hotshot game is I haven't been in it. I know about it, and for me, it's basically when you get in Hotshot and move, it's like running a smaller 18-wheeler, but you're doing it in a dually or you're doing it in a straight truck. But I wanted to get into the business aspect of it because we get a lot of questions about Hotshot lanes and all of that, and I really stay away from hot shots because for me, when you talk about hot shot, you need to really be you need to really, for me, in hot shotting, you need to have a relationship with a vendor that has a relationship with uh with the shippers. Because what I've seen is they call on the vendors in order to get the hot shots over there because they don't have time. That's why they call it hot shot. They don't have time to put it on the board and wait for people to respond and wait for people to pull it off the board. That's why I call it hot shot. So if I say I'm gonna get into hot shot, it wouldn't make sense for me to say I'm gonna go at it on my own. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go at it on my own, especially if I'm just starting out. maybe if after I've been in it 2-3 years, I'll build some relationships and all of that kind of stuff. Maybe then, but starting out, I would get in with the what? Panther, Elf, Roadrunner,
corporate delivery, cheater,
Go ahead, run some off.
Go ahead.
Run some off.
fast track, action. Yeah, Long Star. You would get in, and a lot of people talk against those companies, but that's the way to get in. But it's about relationships. You can build a relationship there. But James, what if you blessed?
Mm-hmm.
Now I know Tawana Roberts.
Yeah.
And she dispatched. Now I've been working these routes right here, but she dispatching some trucks, and she put in the air that she need 5 box trucks. She just became my boss lady. Because see, because right now I'm gonna solve her problem. She has a problem. She got some freight and it needs 5 trucks to move them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna answer that. I got 5 trucks. She already got the customers. I don't have to deal with the customers. She got everything set up.
And I want to ask you a question, because what I've heard from quite a few companies, Elf, Roadrunner, couple of them, a lot of them, I get a lot of hotshot drivers reach out to me, wanting to know if I dispatch hotshot, and that's not my lane. That's not my specialty, right? I specialize in flatbeds and dry vans, right? But I've worked and trained a lot of people in this industry that some of them own their own hotshotting business. So now that they've learned how to dispatch, because some of them were doing like car hauling, right? So now that they've learned how to dispatch and work with 18-wheelers, now they've kind of brought it all together, their expertise in hotshot. But what I'm seeing is a lot of companies, they don't want non-CDL hotshot drivers, and they want them to have the hazmat. Do you know what that's about? How did that come about? As far as a lot of these companies like Elfs and Roadrunners and Panther, not all of them, but I know Elfs for sure. They had pretty much got a little strict this year. I don't know if it was because of the pandemic, but they've been requesting and asking for individuals that have their CDL license as well as, has a material endorsement. Can you speak to that? Do you know?
What Elf is doing, because I'm well known over there with Elf.
Okay.
What is really happening is that Elf has always been real strict, and it's not because of the pandemic. It's really because of the dryness of the freight.
Mm.
And it's easy for me to dispatch to a person that has all his credentials than if only you can drive a flatbed. You don't have the experience. And I know you dispatch, so if I can dispatch a person that I can send him to Montana and he has skills to pick up whatever I have up there to bring back. And that's what they do, because they do a whole lot of stuff. But since the oil, they've really got strict over that. So it's really regulations, and they just really want you, because they want you to be able to carry any kind of waste, any kind of liquid, or anything, and you won't miss a load.
Okay. We have a question for you, James, in the comments. Gentleman, Mr. Hustle Hall, shout out one of my people. Could you please? He said, could you use an older truck starting off? He's asking, could you use an older truck getting started in the hotshot game?
you can find the company. I wouldn't let that deter me, because if that's all you have, it's certainly room. Believe it or not, and I don't want to say this because I don't want to make it real small, but it's companies that just use cars and vans. But you would have to find the company, but it has companies, most of your marble companies that serve, that do stone and stuff. They don't care how the vehicle is, because when they get through putting that stone on it, it's going to be beat up anyway.
That's good information. I'm gonna put that in the live chat so they can see that. Awesome. Marble and stone companies can use cars. Okay, thank you.
So James, we're gonna do this real quick before I ask you another question. When you're in your truck and you're riding, and say you're going from here and you're taking a little ride, say you're going to Dallas, what's your top 5 listening to pleasures while riding to Dallas?
What are my top 5? What?
Listening. What do you listen
Songs.
to? Top 5 songs or albums that you listen to? Right. Well, top 5 anything. It could be. You can listen to the Bible. You can listen to Shirley
Okay.
Caesar.
Well, what I
Whatever.
do
Your top 5.
is I put it on Pandora.
Oh, okay. I feel you.
I
What
put it
station
on.
though?
But
What station?
my
R&B?
station is Jay-Z.
Okay.
All right, Jigga.
Okay.
That's who I ride to, because
Jigga man.
you know I don't want no BB King, because I'm trying to move these packages off me so I can get some more.
Right.
Yeah, I know you're right. Look, Mr. Hustle Hall came back real quick. He said, thank you for the information, but he said he didn't know that as far as like the marble and stone companies, how you can use, you said cars to transport.
No.
Is there a little bit more information you can give on that in regards to?
No. I didn't mean that at the marble places that you can use the cars, the old pickup.
Okay.
But if you wanted to do, but look here, but you can use cars, the blood bank. I mean, yes, they're using them right now. Cars, bank runs, and all that right there. I mean, the Hotshot doesn't just mean 18-wheelers. It's just there, so you can work. The cars work. You got carriers that hire you on carrier services that only use cars, vans. But your marble places for that old truck, that marble place will be a good thing, because all they're gonna want him to have is his full coverage, insurance, a valid driving license.
Okay. He said he remodeled homes in Little Rock, Arkansas, but he's interested in getting into developing homes. And is there a lane where I can pair hotshot trucking and delivering building equipment?
Read that question again.
Tell him I'll get him all the material he needs. If he buy it, I'll pick it up and get it to him.
He said, "You buy it."
Tell him he don't have that problem no more.
Hustle man.
That's what we do as hot shots. Really, people think hot shots are real complicated, but it's really problem solving. But it's good though, because in the relationship part is you got some people that will. A matter of fact, is I listened to y'all podcasts about the dispatching, and I heard Mr. Warner say, I ain't going no less than 6%. But me, that's the level I want to be in. I want it to 6% because I've been used to giving the 20%, the 25%. And when it started off, I had to give 40.
To dispatch?
No, not to dispatch, just to run hot shots.
Oh. Yeah.
That's
You
a
know, that's the
percentage.
percentage that you have to pay
Right,
when you go on to other companies.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Mm.
So my question is going to be, and we're going to make sure that we continue to look at those live questions. My questions to you are going to be, what advice would you give someone new coming into the game of hot shotting? I mean, what would be one key advice that you would give to them coming into the lane of hot shotting and trucking?
Don't turn down no trips.
Don't say it again.
Don't turn down no trips.
Yep.
Matter of fact, don't wear no shirt with no collar. So you ain't got nothing to turn down.
I know that. I know that's right. You know what, James? I'm glad you said that, because even when I teach dispatching, because of course, I train on that, and I've taught a lot of people from here, the United States. I've had clients in Canada, Japan, the UK, and that's one of the things that I teach them, because once people get wind that you have a dispatching service, you're going to have a lot of people that run hotshot and box trucks reach out to new dispatchers. And that's one of the things that I always tell them: don't turn nobody down, because that is how you're going to build and get your experience. So you definitely don't want to turn any loads down if you're a new carrier in the industry, because that's how you're going to build the relationships. And I'm so glad you spoke on it, because I can't stress enough. Anybody that I've trained that's on here live tonight can attest to this. I always talk about it is so important to build relationships, because I had a broker that called me. It's a small brokerage, right? She called me. She works for she's a broker, and she works for this small brokerage in East Texas. And she called me 2 weeks ago, and she said, "Hey T, I know you said you weren't taking on any carriers, but I just got this big contract with 2,100 loads picking up out of Lufkin, running to Freeport." And this is before she posted on low boards. This even before, because I'm also always included in like all of the email blasts, right? You kind of made it once you start being in the email blast, or they call you first with the loads, because by the time they put it on the low board, they finna chop it down. So when she reached out to me, they were paying $3.05 a mile just to run a 180-mile run. Right. That's what I'm saying. But they wanted flatbed. Yeah, they only wanted a 48 or 53-foot flatbed because it was crane mats, right? So she reached out to me and she said, "I got 2,100 loads, and I know that you typically, have the hookup on the flatbeds." And the beauty of it is people only going to reach out to you when you've left the impression, a positive impression on them, and you've impacted them. That woman has been doing brokering for years. The company is an older company, small, older company. And I've brought some really great drivers their way, and we ran a lot of loads for them in the past. And she reached out to me. And that's one of the most important things you can do that you mentioned earlier, was build relationships in this business, because if you can make yourself, if you've impacted someone and you can leave a positive impression on them, they'll use you all the time. You ain't got to worry about if you're going to eat just fine. All you need to do is just come in and build the relationships. And I tell them, some of these people got some of the nastiest attitudes, but you have to separate that. You know what I'm saying? This is a business that you building, especially with you. You have your own business. So you're building not only your business, but you leaving a legacy, and you creating a legacy, for your family, for your children. So I really appreciate you touching on that. It is good to hear people with your level of expertise and experience and knowledge just kind of reiterate some of the things that, little old me have kind of, stated. Make me feel good, make me think that I'm on the right path, doing something right out here.
And let me tell you something. This is
where you are, and that's what we should do. But it's about, if people know that you're credible, dependable, and stable. The same person gave you one load, will give you 1 million loads. It's just how you get on it. And it just look how you present yourself. You didn't look at this as no little old company over here. You service them just like you would service a Fortune 500 company. But 2,100 loads. Look here, everybody eating, and it's just about relationships. But just let's go down below that. Look at the people that you called because of the relationship that you had. You went to calling out to the state bed people that you knew would get the job done. You wasn't guessing or anything.
Right. And the thing about it is, you said two things. You said credible and stable.
Yes.
That credible, that credible takes you a long way. Credit.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Takes you a long way. And so it just baffles me when people don't value what they leave behind. You know what I mean? They don't value what their impression that they put on an owner operator, the impression that they leave with a shipper, the impression that they leave with a dispatcher, the impression that they leave on a broker, because you don't know what those bridges can take, where those bridges can take you. And so people just it baffles me that people just, even drivers have to have good customer service. Mm-hmm. When you walk up to that window at your delivery stop or even at your pickup stop, you still have to have customer service. I see so many drivers that walk up to those windows where those men and women are there, allowing them to move their commodity, and they get upset with the people behind the window because their dispatcher did not give them the proper pickup number. I'm talking about literally stand there and have an all-out conversation because they're trying to get the load so they can get back to home base. And I just look at them. I've never been one to disrespect anybody's position in this game. Nobody's position have I ever disrespected in this game. I don't care what part that you're playing in me getting loaded, unloaded, or dispatched. I've never disrespected that position because I've never wanted anyone to disrespect the position that I play. Everybody's position is important in this game because of the fact of you're trying to get commodity moved. You're trying to make sure that your company is reputable, credible, and stable. And once they get all of that information, once somebody gives you a chance and lets you in the door, you need to make sure that your driver has good customer service. People say it all the time. Man, you want me to do everything? Yep. I sure do. Because when you get your own company and you decide to get your own truck, you will know what to do. Because you're not going to go nowhere in this game thinking that somebody owe you something. You're not going to go nowhere in life thinking that somebody owe you something. Every person you meet is an opportunity, and you got to be ready for your opportunity. And you got to know how to leave a lasting impression on anybody you come across, because you just never know. You never know. You know what I mean? You just never know. And so I'm gonna ask you this, because we always have a help tip for the week for our drivers, because because I gained like almost 60 pounds while I was driving over the road for the 12 years that I was driving. And it just was, I was good, but I wasn't eating right. And you can't see it on yourself until you stop. You know what I mean? and you start looking back on yourself. So we begin to also, we want to give good health tips, not only mentally, but physically and emotionally, and having a healthy marriage, personal life, having a healthy single life, having a healthy relationship with God plays a big role in being able to be an over the road driver and be successful, come home safe, make sure everybody else on the road get home safe, because it is a very sensitive thing when you jump behind the wheel of that truck. And it keeps an owner operator up all night long. I used to think that you at home, you sleep with your family. I'm out here on this road, not knowing that owner operators lose sleep too, because they never know when you're going to call them and say, man, I just rolled over, or I just ran into the back of a young lady. No owner operator, no owner, no CEO, no manager, no supervisor wants to ever get that call that a driver has been in an accident. Even if it's just them,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Because nobody wants anyone to be hurt. So health is a very big issue in this trucking industry. I just read an article on diabetes and truckers. Truckers have some of the highest diabetes rate because, all of the sugar, the soda waters, you know, we snack constantly, don't 500-600 miles, because we want to keep that left door closed. We snack constantly. And by the time we get home on the weekend, we do anything to take it off. We don't do anything to take it off because we're trying to keep that left door closed so we can get to where we need to be. So, what is one of the things that you found yourself that you do to keep yourself healthy?
Well, I try to now start taking lunch. Believe me, taking lunch is better
Yeah.
because what we eat at truck stops and those rest areas is fried food and a bunch of starches. So you wonder why we got high blood pressure, sugar, diabetes. Is what we eat, and then the position that we're in and the bouncing. So, James, what I just try to do now more of is take a lunch, make it be like a salad or something like that. And then while I'm stopped and getting loaded, I try to get up out of the seat. Where I used to sit up in the seat, I try to get up out of the seat and walk around the truck, to keep my legs from cramping up on me when you get up in age, sitting in a position. So I try to do little things like that, but I can do them more frequently because I'm in town. So I can imagine, somebody on the road is trying to drive 100 to 200 miles, because he got so much time before he can't drive anymore. So I think you just work your schedule, but you got to begin to look at your health, because that's why it's so hard driving for anybody now. Because if you're not healthy, you're going to fall asleep, and all the wrecks with the 18 wheelers, most of them are health issues, just bad health issues. And
And
so
so,
I just would advise, to eat healthy, and anytime that you can do something physically, like that'll keep your heart rate going, try to do it even while you're working and you're on the road.
you said something about you're sitting so long and your circulation. And you know what? That just leads me into my health tip for this week. And it's nitric oxide. It's a little thing called oxide. And that is simply the oxygen your blood gets. When we're not moving and we're sitting in one position for so long, and that blood thickens up and it doesn't circulate the way it's supposed to. We eating all those bad foods on the road. And I used to think, my favorite place to eat, James. What was your favorite place to eat while you were running, or if you were going out of town? What would be your favorite place to eat?
Fuck yes.
You know what mine was?
What?
Pilot. You know they had the little restaurant on the inside.
All the time, wherever they at, all around the world.
Man, my wife know I love smothered steak, right? Smothered steak, potatoes. You know what I mean? But she cook it now, but she cooks it different. It doesn't have so much sodium in it.
Yeah.
And we don't realize that in that restaurant, that's sodium. Sodium is almost worse than just pure salt. Man, that sodium had me so bloated because I said, well, I'm not eating nothing fried. I'm eating something healthy. But the way they can them vegetables and the gravy that they cook is not from scratch. It's out the pack. Even the meat is processed. You don't realize that the sodium that they put into preserving all of that stuff while it's sitting on the shelves, while it's getting transported, you don't know how long they don't never know how long, they don't know when it's going to be used. So they have to use some type of preservative in the canned good, in the powder, in the meat. So I will eat at Flying J or Pilot where they had the buffet. You know what I mean? Or you go in and you order you a hot meal and it's not what's the crispy fried chicken? It's not crispy fried chicken. You know what I mean? It's not McDonald's. It's not Taco Bell. I'm thinking I'm doing good because I'm sitting down eating a hot meal. You know what I mean? And it's still no good because it's full of sodium.
Yeah.
So now I've incorporated, with me being off of the road for the last 6 years, I've incorporated nitric oxide into my diet that would help, the blood flow, get the oxygen to my blood, which lowers your blood pressure, which helps you sleep better. And just do what you need to do, man. Nitric oxide, look into it. For everybody over the road, man, look into it. And if you're over the road, man, try to incorporate, beets and all of that into your smoothies. Beet is a real good, helps your blood. So that's my health tip for the week, wifey.
Hustle Hall said, man, talk about it. Sodium will get you out of here. And it definitely will.
In a hurry.
I do want to plug real quick, guys, because one of the things that, we're extremely blessed about having this platform and, building this podcast up is that we want to be supportive of not, just our guests and their businesses, not just our own businesses, but just people that may not even be guests on this show, but people we know. We want to plug right now Walk by Faith Fitness, which is owned by Cordale Baldwin here in the Houston, Texas area. And I wanted to plug him because for some of you guys that are listening that may be from H-Town, he is by far one of the best personal trainers that I've ever worked with. He walks by faith and not by sight. One of his slogans and his motto that he lived by is for fit, and that's fit for the kingdom. And he quotes Luke 9:62. And I want to plug Cordale Baldwin on here. And for those of you that are in the Houston, Texas area that may be on the road listening, that will go back and replay this on YouTube, that need that extra push, because it's not about just eating healthier. It's not about just doing that, but you still have to physically put in a little bit of work. And he by far is definitely someone that we highly recommend. The name of his company and his handle on Instagram is at the @ Walk by Faith Fitness, and that's WALKBYFAITHFITNESS, Walk by Faith Fitness. Follow him, show him some support, reach out to him, see what his packages are, his plans are. The gentleman is just, he's hands down one of the best in the business, and he'll work with you. So yeah, I want to plug that.
And his actual name on there is the Masters Piece _85.
Yeah, but we don't want to plug that. That's his personal page. His business page is at Walk by Faith.
Yeah. I'm saying when they go to Instagram, if they type in the Masters Piece, one word _85, you can look up and you can see, his results. You can see him in his fitness and everything. But his website, she's right. His website is at Walk by Faith Fitness. That's his business.
That's his business Instagram.
Yeah, that's his business. This is just his, if you look him up online. So we want to make sure we plug him. He is a beast. He's a beast. I'm so scared to go to him. My sister goes to him religiously, and she looks amazing.
I go to him as well.
Yeah, my wife goes with him also. My wife looks amazing also. I'm not saying my wife doesn't look amazing, but I'm just saying he does the work.
Yeah, but I've used some other trainers, and just by far, definitely one of the best. Very professional, very, he's very hands-on with all his clients. He services men and women. So that's why I say, reach out to him, because you won't be disappointed. And I do want to ask James as well. We appreciate your time tonight. We value you. We appreciate you. I don't know. I mean, I believe in multiple streams of income. I'm not really sure if you have anything else going on outside of the trucking business that if anybody listening would, be blessed by that information, we would like for you to share that as well, if you have anything.
Well, the logistics is really the scope of mine, but I do sell tires. I can put some tires on you. As a matter of fact, it's James Roberts Logistics and Tire Sales LLC. So that's something there that I do right there. That's and it's really been a personal thing, but it has grown so to that. And like you said, many strings of income, shoes, anything that I find open right now, I want to get in.
I know you're right. I have a question for you that just came in. It says, Mr. Roberts, when starting off, how do you suggest that new companies pay themselves or split their earnings in the best interest of the business?
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. Starting off, you might won't be able to pay yourself like you should, but the minute that you could, you need to pay yourself like an employee. That way, that you would have personal money and business money, because you really need to separate that. Because if you use all the money that you get from the business to do everything personally and nothing business wise, or all business wise and have no money personally, so you have to have a balance. I think that you need to pay yourself just as though you were an employee.
Yeah, we talked about that on our last episode also. A lot of owner operators get themselves in trouble when they fail to pay themselves like they're an employee of the company. Meaning that if I'm going to pay a driver 25-30% to drive for me, and I'm driving for myself, you need to pay yourself that. You need to pay yourself that, because we get caught up in seeing the settlement sheet come through, and we feel like that's money for the household. No, you need to take your 25% and put the rest of that up, right? Right, James?
Yes, you have to. I mean, you just have to pay yourself because the only way you're going to see how the business is doing is being able to pay yourself, and it's going to make you count. It's going to make you watch the money and everything like that. And eventually, whether you DBA and moving up to the LLC, you're just going to have to split that anyway. You can't run the business like it's personal, and you can't run the personal like it's business.
And we're going to keep this real because we're in the trap. We're going to keep this real. I am not going to lie to you. I hate for people to tell me to do what to do with my money. I ain't gonna lie. I hate to be I need to be, but I hate for people to say you can't do this or you can't do that. And I think as a people, everybody have that trait in them. But I think some people can accept being on a budget better than others can. I really can't accept being on a budget. I need to be on one, and I am on one, but I let it go. If I want it, I can get it. You know what I mean? But you still have to be on a budget, no matter how much money you make, no matter how much you bring in. You have to be on a budget, especially when it comes to you running your business versus you paying your bills versus you taking care of your family. You have to separate all of the entities so that you won't get crossed up. You have to. You have to. I know it's hard. I know it's hard because now you got money to do this with. You got money to do that with. I can go get that job. I can go get that business with no problem. My credit A1. I can go drop it on it. I can go get this. I got that Amex card. I can go do this, do that. Yeah, you like can do all of that. But only reason your credit is good is so you can keep your business going. That's why your credit good. So that if you need to go get some tables with petitions on them so that you can continue to have class in your building, you can go put it on the Amex card. That's what your good credit is for. Because before you decided to go into business, you let your personal credit go to shot.
Yeah.
Right? So now that you done got everything in line, now that you done put yourself in position to have a successful business and run a successful company, now you're going to mess it up because you don't want to pay yourself like an employee? You have to. There's no way around it, James. There's no way around it. You can't be successful trying to combine the two. There's no way you're going to be successful. And only reason I can talk like this is because I've been through it. I've been through it. I've done it. I've done it. Everybody's made only way people can tell you about what not to do is because they've been through it. Now you got some smart addicts out there that look at what you've been through and then I ain't gonna say smart addict. I'm gonna say some ghost writers, some ghost talkers. They see your story. They've never been through it, but they see your story. Now they want to tell your story through their platform or through their mode, their vehicle, whether it be writing or whatever. They've seen a story just like yours, and now they want to put it in their own words. They've never been through it. They've only seen it. You can tell what somebody has been through it versus if they just seen it and now they want to put it out there. You know what I mean? No, not over here. Everything that we say, everything that we talk about, all of the do's and don'ts in this industry, we've been through it. I've been through it. We bring people on here that have been through it. Ain't nobody finna come on here and tell you, I'm not gonna let anybody come on here and tell you about the palace they in now and not tell you about the pit.
No.
You understand what I'm saying?
Talk
because
that.
because the way where I come from, we got it out the mud. She got it on in the mud with me. James, I know I seen you get it out the mud. I've seen several people get it out the mud. And I'm not finna sit here and be like, oh, we're not doing great. We're not doing great. We steady putting ourselves in a position to be in the place where God has provided us to be. I am not, and I will never, and I will not let my family or my wife step on somebody's neck in order to get where God told us to be because we don't have to do that. You got a question?
Yes.
Huh? So what I'm saying is, what God has for you is for you. Put yourself in a position to be ready to be placed in the position God has for you in this industry, in life, in love, and everything else. It's all he's built it all for you. You know what I'm saying? I don't mean to, get off into my minister bag, but at the end of the day, that is what I stand on. That is what I stand on. So, James, I don't want to hold you too long. We can talk all day. Me and you, we talk, we talk longer than it is. I just wanted people to know that you are real people. The people I bring on here, that we bring on here, we're real. We're real. Even when we do get the opportunity to talk to some people who are CEOs of Fortune 500 companies, and I know it's coming. When we talk to those people, we will always stay connected, just like this, because this is where I come from. I never forget where I came from. I never forget where he brought me from. So at the end of the day, this is what it is. We're always going to be in the trap. We're always going to be in the trap, James. You feel what I'm saying? So, with that being said, I'm going to let you close out your interview with shout outs, with anything you want to plug, you want to say hi to the wifey, whatever it is you want the people to know from James Roberts, Logistics, and Ty LLC. Uh, Go ahead. The floor is yours.
Well, first of all, I just want anyone that's plugged in on this broadcast to first of all not be afraid, gather your information, and be prayerful and mindful in all things that you do. And it's nothing that you can't succeed. I don't care whether your walk of life at you can succeed. I mean, if me and my namesake can succeed, anyone can.
Mhm.
But you have to get your information, and once you get the information, the fear will leave. I know you're scared, and I know
Mm.
you want to be self-motivated and your own business. Uh, just get your information, be prayerful and mindful, and I think that God will place before you open doors and open opportunities, because I don't believe none of us can be successful without God. Some of us were successful and have grown to be successful, not looking to be successful, but God just put us in the right vein. He put
Right,
us right.
right.
So just just continue to work on your relationships, and if you want it, go after it. As
Mm.
we got a brother that says it, and he's a trainer named Brandon. He says only you can stop you. And I believe that. I believe that we can be successful and that we can be ready for this, because we in a pandemic. But you think the pandemic has held it down, but when anything has been shut down and they just open the gates, just be ready, man, because it's gonna be freight everywhere around here, and you just have to do like a good
Mhm.
trapper, set your bait and set your trap out there, and it's gonna go to it. That's all I have, and I thank y'all for allowing me to, just share. and be on you. And I will be. I'll be hanging around in the room with y'all because I believe in it, and I know that God has placed it on y'all hearts. Peace out, man.
Oh yeah, we gonna most definitely be coming up. You are officially a trap king since you just put it down like that. You're officially a trap king. Hold on, I think we got one more question for you.
And let me say this, guys. I'm gonna, when this broadcast is finished, I will edit everything in the details on YouTube. But we are new. And so I set up this podcast and forgot to change the banner. So it should say how to build a successful hotshot business, but it still has the banner from last week. Yeah. So nevertheless, that's just a part of, the new and the beginning. And I'm just going to call my little error out. But on YouTube, we're going to this will immediately go straight to YouTube, but I'll go ahead and I will edit the description. Everything will be the way that it should be in the description. And then I have a gentleman asking for your Instagram. But see, let me tell you something, Hustle Hall, about James Roberts, the guest. He old school. He ain't on Instagram like that. He not sitting there posting pictures. That man is on Facebook. You can reach him at James Roberts on his Facebook page if you want to connect with him and, see some of his wisdom that he posts on his Facebook page, or you can go to his business page. I don't know if he keeps it active as well, but he has a picture on his personal page of him and his beautiful wife, Roz. Hey, girl. And you can get connect with them there.
She woke up on that one.
That's my girl. She's so beautiful. That's my girl.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And James, I know you got them babies back there, man. I know they get ready for school tomorrow, man. I want to just say thank you for coming on and sharing your knowledge and sharing your wisdom. And I hope, like I said, you're a trap king. So I hope you'll be joining us again real soon. Whenever I know if I hit you and say, hey, man, let's cam up. We got something to talk about. I know you're going to be there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, we appreciate you, man, and we'll talk to you real soon, sir. Much love, peace, and blessings to you and the family. Happy holidays.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, baby.
Y'all welcome,
all
man.
Right.
All right.
All right.
Have a good night. All right.
I want to thank you guys, man. That was Mr. James Roberts. We were talking hotshot. Everything you want to know, what you want to know. Hotshotting. And once again, she said she already called herself IC. she do that. She take accountability for her mistakes. But it's all good. It's all good. We gonna get better. It's gonna get better. Everything, boy, y'all gonna be surprised. And you gotta understand something. We're doing this all ourselves. We're learning this. We got this stuff going. She's been on that side of the game, that computer side of the game. She got it going on. I've been on this technical side, on this audio side, on this visual side, and we got everything set up and we're jumping off, and she got her connects. I got my connects, and we're bringing them all to you each and every week.
Yes. And I also want to say and announce for you guys that's listening. So, I went ahead and moved. This is something that me and my husband have been talking about for over a year. I want to shout out one of my good girlfriends, Miss Tristan Simmons, AKA Lady Logistics. I started working with that girl, man, a couple years back, and we were working together, broker agents, and she taught me so much about the industry, let alone the brokering side of the business. So, I'm just extremely excited that I went ahead and moved when God said move. And so we're going to not only close out 2020 with a bang, but we're going to enter 2021 with a bang, because by the end of next week or the week after, I will have my freight brokerage. And, crazy. So I'm gonna walk.
She's doing it. Yeah.
I'm gonna walk into that thing. I'm not gonna be about it or talk about it. I'm gonna be about it. I one of the things that I wasn't planning on doing was, the brokerage, because I do have a huge passion for dispatch, and I love the communicating with the drivers, with the carriers. I have some amazing carriers that I've been blessed to work with over the last 3 years. Been extreme blessing for me and my family. But we're gonna go ahead and see what they're brokering do, because God is good. And then not only that, I have a really huge meeting tomorrow for our CDL training school. For those of you who don't know, I have a CDL training school, and I'm a certified vendor with the Texas Workforce Commissions here in Texas. And so I'll be meeting with quite a few of the partners on tomorrow, because there are a lot of them that have interest in our training program. And so I'm just extremely blessed that we've been able to tap into different pieces of the business under the same umbrella. You know what I mean? Like, this is now going to be our 5th business venture underneath the umbrella of transportation and logistics. And we're not going anywhere. This is really just the beginning. We're here to stay, and we want to be a blessing to each and every one of you out there listening. I've been having so many carriers saying, hey, you have any loads? You're a broker. And I was like, no, because I've been extremely blessed with dispatching for so long. I'm like, no, I don't, want to do brokering, but I am now tapping into that. So we will be having some conversations up, soon. I've already started mapping things out. Got some shippers that I'm getting ready to link with. I already see the vision. It's already been made plain, and I already see the 2 shippers that I'm going to work with going into 2021. I already see that we're going to have some of the dry vans and some of these reefers out there taking care and serving as first responders, essential workers, those vaccines that's getting ready to be put out here in the up and coming weeks. So yeah, I'm speaking and I'm talking and walking and walking. It is what it is. Yeah.
Yes, sir. She talked about it. I had to let her tell it. I couldn't tell it because, man, look here. She been going hard. Ever since, well, really before the pandemic. She been going hard. You know what I mean? And it's just that things fell into place for her and for our family. And we just been favored. It goes deeper than being blessed, because for me, when you favored, it lasts longer. When you got that favor, when God got his hands on you, it lasts longer. I just try to make sure that I give him all the credit and give myself none when we do this thing. And I have no other choice but to build everything we do on faith and on him and moving when he say move and do things. I was so skeptical about doing a podcast and putting my story out there and letting people know what it is that I know. And I do it behind the scenes all day long. I teach everybody what I know all day long. I meet drivers on the road or when I'm pulling up to a stop and somebody's stuck. We as drivers, not just truckers, we as professional drivers, we have something what you call professional driver courtesy. Is when somebody's stuck, man, you don't leave them there to be stuck. You try to at least help them and see if there's a way to get them unstuck from whatever they're stuck in, because you never know when you're going to be in that situation. And so that's what we live on as professional drivers, is that professional courtesy to the next man, because we know that if you lose a load going down the road, that's going to affect our business, because now here comes FMCA saying, hey, this happened too many times in 2020. And now we have to come up with a rule. We have to come up with a rule and implement it so that this doesn't happen again. That's where you're getting your ELDs from. That's where you're getting when you go to the clinic now. You get, your blood pressure got to be right. You got to be, if you're on the CPAP, they got to make sure that you're using your CPAP the right way. You just can't go in there and just get a medical certificate and be good. So that's why we try to help every driver where he's stuck. We try to get him right. So before I close out, I know you just did your spiel, but is there anything else you would like for the listeners to know?
No, that I just appreciate you guys for tuning in every week. We have some amazing lineups over the next 6 weeks. I know at least the next 5 weeks. So thank you guys for tuning in.
Yes, thank you guys for tuning in. And I just want to leave you guys with this. There's no royal road to anything. One thing at a time. All things in succession. That which grows fast withers rapidly. That which grows slowly endures. Simply put, ain't no road to gold. Ain't no yellow brick road you can take to success. There is no yellow brick road to success. You have to take it one day at a time, one mission at a time, one load at a time, one step at a time. And it has to be in line. Just take your time. Quit trying to grow your business so fast. Oh, I see he doing it. He good where he at. I want to get there right now. She good where she at. I want to get there right now. She look like she been doing this 20 years. I want to get there right now. I can't wait. I need to see that at the table. No. Eat where you are right now. Take care of where you are right now. And God already got your place set.
Yeah.
At the table.
Yep.
He already got it set. So with that being said, like I said, don't be so quick to grow your business so fast and forget the intricate details of your business. Because as long as you take your time and build it, it'll endure forever. This has been the Freight Trapping Podcast with your host, James Roberts.
Tawana Roberts, Queen of Dispatch.
And we're out.
Sometimes there's no other words to say, no other ways to feel. Oh, but anytime you feel that way, just open up your mouth and know that you could be in the worst place. And dig it on, dig it out.